This is a guitar. Check this out. Too much investment in style. It feels as if they've gone too far. Reminds me of the Fiat Multipla.
Now everyone, Tesla must have built the first ever desirable electric car. The Volkswagen Group sure have caught up in building electric cars that are sporty and far more desirable, the Porsche Taycan and the Audi e-trons. But now, the Chinese have caught up even more, guys, in the mass market, offering cars that don't have an identity, but have great value for money. They are fully loaded with desirable equipment that not many manufacturers would dream of giving to you at a certain price tag. Now, it should be noted that BYD is a relatively new player in the automotive industry, especially here in the EU market, guys. Now, when it comes to China, they've been around for quite a long time, since the early 2000s, everyone. But it's only recently they had bigger presence here in the EU market. The first time I saw a BYD in Europe was actually in London. It was used as a taxi, which is something that surprised me because their cars were not attractive at all, but they were just electric. That was the only specialty about them. But today, they have done something far more interesting, guys. I had a chance to take a look at BYD models like the BYD Tang, the BYD Han, and now we're gonna have a look at the BYD Atto 3. This BYD Atto 3 costs 46,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? Well, we're gonna find out in a moment, everyone. Let's get on with this review right now.
The electric motor of the BYD Atto 3 produces 150 kilowatts and has a range of 420 kilometers, just as average as other electric crossover SUVs. And for the moment, this is a fixed configuration. There's no way to modify the ranges, or there's no way to modify the motor. This is a standard motor you get for all ranges of the BYD Atto 3. In fact, speaking of ranges, there's no other trim level. This is the only trim level you get for the BYD Atto 3, but you do get different colors. The interior of the BYD Atto 3 gets even more interesting when it comes to the infotainment system. In fact, the infotainment system and all the technology is what really shines, but it goes to a point where it can get rather annoying, like the intelligent voice assistant. Intelligent, huh? Well, let me just tell you all, that voice assistant kept interrupting me during my videoing, but otherwise it was rather good. It kept engaging with me. It was asking me questions related to the car. Questions that were relevant with the car itself. So it would ask me about navigation, it would ask me about the climate control. Over here is the exterior design of the BYD Atto 3, everyone. Looks wonderful, and the way it's styled and such. So this is supposed to be an electric crossover SUV. Now, electric crossover SUVs have become of high demand here in the EU market, especially that from South Korean manufacturers like Kia and Hyundai. They've been really strong with this, especially the Kia Niro. Now, the Kia Niro can be perceived as a direct competitor to this BYD Atto 3. You get a 360-degree parking camera, everyone. You get keyless entry as well. You also get parking sensors at the front and at the rear. I have to admire the simplicity of the front, guys. The simplicity looks really nice. There's an air vent right in the corner right here, guys, but it's not so conspicuous. So it's like simplicity which boasts a lot, guys. It's just so nice. And then I like these headlights, how they have a touch of blue to them. It's really interesting. I have to admire those alloys, guys. So black alloys combined with some shiny alloy. Looks really interesting. But the only question is that the design kind of reminds me of what Kia has already been doing, especially for the Niro. But then you have to admire this center, guys. It looks really interesting. Whilst exploring this BYD Atto 3 exterior, everyone, I noticed it was amazing, guys. I like the way they've gone about it. It looks all round edged at the front, and then they tend to do little with sharp edges. So like they only have one sharp edge here, and then at the rear, it's all simple, which is good. But then I also noticed some questions, guys. From certain angles, it resembles something that other car manufacturers have come up with already. So for instance, it has this looks of something Audi has done with the Q2 or something. It just reminds me of the Audi Q2, especially when you have a different trim right here, which is cool, but then at the same time it's not really something unique. Time to explore the interior of this BYD Atto 3. Alright everyone, so over here is the interior of the BYD Atto 3, and I can confirm it looks far more energetic than what I saw of the exterior. The exterior looks a bit generic, and it just doesn't look really like something relatable. But then as soon as you sit in the interior, it's a bit of... You know what? See this for yourself, guys. Look at this, guys. Look at this interior. It's really, really energetic. It's really, really nice, guys. It's leather seats, guys. White leather in the middle. On the side, you get this dark blue color to it. And you get orange piping right here. And then orange stitching on the side. So it's a really good combination of colors I see right here, and it is really interesting. Heated seats, by the way. Electric seating adjustment, everyone. Let's just admire the door, guys. There's something about this door bin that's really interesting. This is a guitar. Check this out. Oh my gosh, this is cute. This is the best thing ever. All 4 windows are fully automated, guys. Mirror controls, center door lock right there. Over here is your infotainment system, guys. Looks really interesting. There's something really cool about this. This can rotate. Believe it or not. Just press this button right here and this thing will rotate to portrait. Or you can have it back at landscape again if you need to. Oh, do you see this funny looking thing right here? No, this is not your storage. Although it'd be really cool if it was, because that way I can just, you know, put something. But no, I cannot, because this is your, this is supposed to be your air conditioning. This is the air vents, guys. Yeah, speaking of air conditioning, I believe your climate controls would be within the infotainment system. So these are just the air vents. And the air vent is also right here and right there for the passenger side. I mean, it's just really creative how they've gone about this. Really creative, especially the door handle. It looks like something I've seen in a gym. Or I'm just under the impression it's too good that it's kind of like too much style was invested and less was invested in practicality, because look at the solutions nearby, guys. Stop button right here, guys. Just take a look at what's going on in there. I believe this would be your driving mode, and then you have other controls right here, guys. Steering wheel, guys. The steering wheel looks really cool, but I'm just trying to get used to it. It's first of all, to hold on to it, it's good. It's nice. The leather is not so squidgy, but it's just really interesting, the color of leather. So it's like turquoise or dark blue or something with the orange stitching. Basically what you have seen on the seat. And then you get this 3 spokes, and each of the spokes are like aluminum or something, and then accompanied with piano black. And then you have the plastic controls on the steering wheel, which is funny, guys. Check this out, guys. This is your door handle to open the door. This is really fancy. It's really fancy, guys, but too much investment in style. It feels as if they've gone too far. Practicality solutions, guys. After all, this is a crossover SUV. So, little storage space right here, good for your telephone, ideal for your telephone. And then you get some storage space right underneath there, guys, with a 12-volt socket, USB points. The space underneath is too good, but it's just not really easy to access, guys. And then cup holders right here. Cup holders of fixed sizes, and then you get a central console storage, which is, the feel is spongy. It feels like sponge. It's hard to tell, guys. It just doesn't feel, it feels like rubber or sponge. It doesn't feel like leather. Anyways, let's take a look inside. The central console it's deep, but it's not very wide, guys. It's here, there's like just plastic that has no purpose, guys. Yeah. Wait, okay. There's a space underneath. Okay. So underneath, there's additional space. Yep, just underneath the cup holder. The glove box is average for its price and segment. Not bad. Door bin is nice. It's rather deep from this side, but I don't think you can fit a big water bottle because of the obstruction by this. Yep, certainly not very practical. I have seen many electric cars, guys, and they all suffer from practicality issues. And it seems like this BYD Atto 3 is another victim. But then is it really a victim? Or is it just that too much has been invested in style? I'm going to talk about this to you all right now. Don't get me wrong, it was really nice, but just something about it from certain angles reminded me of the Fiat Multipla. Just the steering wheel and then also this whole presentation right here. The exterior looks really nice. I mean, it looks okay, but then as soon as you sit in the interior, it seems like they've tried a little too much to be stylish, but it just ends up yeah, it's just got its own appeal to it. Like, for example, what they've done over here was invested too much into style but the problem with this air vent right here is that it's all the way down there, and you have to have the air facing towards you. It should go upwards. But the thing is, if you have it facing down, it'll go all the way only onto this gear stick, or onto this area, which will be pointless, guys. Normally, it's always better to have the air vents right here or above, like in conventional cars. Just the unnecessary over-styling. So, for instance, the design is cool. I like what they've been trying, okay? They've tried to explore something non-conventional, but it just ends up horribly wrong, in my opinion, because they've kept this huge air vent right down there, and it's pointless, because when it comes to practicality, first of all, it takes up too much space that could have been potentially used for something better. So what some conventional electric car manufacturers would do is leave this place out for a big storage space or something, and put the air vents here instead, or perhaps above or something, yeah? But putting it all the way down there just means the air will go flowing only onto this gear stick, or perhaps onto me, but it'll be obstructed by my arm or something. You know, what if my hand is over here? It's obstructing the airflow towards me. So it seems like there's been some afterthoughts, alright? No additional storage space anywhere else, guys. Everything else was invested for the style. No storage space here. And no storage space above either. Time to explore the rear seat. Alright guys, so I got a lot of leg room, a lot of knee room. Headrest is surprisingly cozy. You get a panoramic roof, everyone. Beacon of up lighting right here. Handle right here. And a coat hook right here. Oh, decent practicality solutions for the back. And then both seats get rear seat pockets. And by the way, this rear seat pocket is complex. So you have this one, then you have these two, just above. Wow. And then air vents right here, but no climate control for the back seat. USB point down there, and a little storage space extra down there. Feel like a VIP? Pull this down. There you go. 2 cup holders, and this armrest is, wow! This armrest is actually cozy. It's really squidgy. It's really nice. Guys, I'm actually pointing this out because most car manufacturers tend to have like super firm armrest. It's like pulling down a piece of wood or something. But this is something that feels like a pillow. It's good. I really like it. It's really nice. These cup holders are good. Surprisingly, the back seat is far better than I had imagined. The practicality solutions are good and average for its price and segment, but it seems better than what I experienced at the front seat, guys. The only question I have to remark, though, is that for a price of 45,000 euros, the floor, guys, normally you'd expect something pleasant, but the type of floor you get in this rear seat is almost as if it's something you'd see in a utility vehicle. Now it's time to explore the boot space, guys. Yes. So, now boot space. The boot space is really small for its price and segment, guys, but it's still got the beacon of hope, and that's it. No 12-volt socket, just tether points on the corner. Yes, that's it basically. Wow. Electric drawers at least. Practicality, guys, for the rear seats. So let's pull the rear seats down. So when you fold the rear seats down, you get a flat floor, guys. Really nice. Getting connected to the rear. The gap from the bottom all the way to the ceiling, it's really not really it's not really spacious compared to competitors. And now there's a new question as well. Be very careful with the seatbelt, because if you fold it back up, there's a chance you will accidentally hide the seatbelt as well. So whenever you want, just put the seatbelt into this, or just put it aside whenever you want to fold it up. So this is what I would do. Just hold it here and then put the seat up. And there you go, guys. Just be careful with the seatbelt. There, job done. So here's my conclusion of the BYD Atto 3. I have to say that this is one of the most promising crossover SUVs of today's generation, primarily because Chinese car manufacturers tend to be great value for money. Can I say the same thing about this particular car? You see, there's something really interesting going on, you know? I look at the exterior and it looks interesting, okay, but I'm just under the impression it looked like a mishmash of what other car manufacturers have been doing. And then as soon as I see it in the interior, it seems a bit too try-hard. Like, something about the interior was a bit too much, alright? It was too, like, it's like something trying to be cool, thinking it's cool, but it's not. That's just what I'm trying to say, guys. It's just too much round edges and then too much pieces of equipment at random locations, guys. And funny, and I loved the most, would be the guitar door. One thing I just don't get is that why was there so much empty spaces that could have been used for something? I just didn't get it. The boot space was quite alarming. For a price of 46,000 euros, is this BYD Atto 3 good value for money or not? Well, I have to say, it's okay value for money. It's not the best crossover SUV currently out there, especially electric, but I have to say it's a big step ahead. This is another competitor in the crossover SUV segment that's electric, and not many European competitors have offered this yet, guys. So in some senses, BYD is a bit ahead of the entire game. Now guys, don't get me wrong, it is really heroic and brave that BYD has taken initiatives in all segments. So we have electric SUVs basically. So the big SUV, which was the BYD Tang, then you have the premium car, which was the BYD Han, and then also now we have the BYD Atto 3, which is the small crossover SUV. But the thing is that the way they've done the crossover SUV just seemed really... It's just not the same experience as the Tang, guys. The Tang looked premium and it felt premium, but the Atto 3, I have no idea what was BYD thinking. Reminds me of the Fiat Multipla. You want my opinion of this BYD Atto 3?
Say that again?
My opinion of this BYD Atto 3? Oh, I love it! I love this BYD Atto 3, guys. This BYD Atto 3 is one of the most interesting electric cars of today's generation, guys, because I'm assuming that this is only the first generation, alright? Or perhaps this is just the current generation, but when the next generation comes out, I hope it's going to be more revised, and I hope it's going to be more interesting to look at, especially with interior design, because I have to confess, this interior of the Atto 3, the equipment and everything, the equipment was good, but it's just the presentation, just the way they've gone on about it, guys. And then also, it's just not very, it's not very interesting. It feels interesting in terms of equipment, but it just does not really, it just does not really have the looks or anything that commands the respect, or something about it just does not command the same level of respect as what you would get from competitors like Kia, Hyundai. You guys get the point. My list can go on forever. Competitors always have something to work on. They always have something that helps them stand out from the competition. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, guys. And please let me know in the comments what are your thoughts of the BYD Atto 3. Because I have mixed views about it. I personally preferred the BYD Tang. The Tang was a game changer.